So I'm gonna guess. Let's say I pulled about 5 or 6 TVs apart. All depends upon the age of them and all kinds of different things as to what you'll find in them. A lot of your older ones, see, it's coated in gold. A lot of your HD TV stuff is going to be coated in gold. A lot of your older TVs, the outside framing, it may be a frame inside. Oh, I just like shot across here somewhere. I don't know where it went. It's like, I'll find it later. All same wire bag, unless I tell you otherwise. But a lot of your older TVs will have an aluminum frame inside. The back panel will be aluminum, so they tend to bring you a little bit more money. So you definitely want to put a magnet on there. Of course, the frame is going to be, most of the time, it's going to be like cast. I dropped my little gold piece there. Where'd it go? That's alright, I guess I'll find that one later too. Those little ones like to shoot off. So there's that. Your newer ones have less gold in them than your old ones. So I'll tell you how I do this. Some yards might get upset, mine don't. This is the speakers. I just toss them in a shred. That's just a regular end. Same wire bag still. This is a gold end. Board Sort gives you $1 a pound for them. Toss that in Board Sort's box. I could leave this bracket on, but I don't. And I'm going to toss this in with everything else. Your power wires do not, that's the main thing, is your power wires don't go into that. Now, if it's like 3 cables in it, you may be able to strip the outside one and get away with it. It's gold. I try to clean most of this tape and stuff off of these, but I don't spend a lot of time doing it if it's something I can grab easy. Yep, that's all wire. Regular gold. I don't believe those are gold. So these, sometimes they'll slide off. Instead of going through a bunch of work, it's easier to just do that and toss it in shreds. Now I'm sure if you get a cable or 2 wrong, it's not going to be too big of a deal. But they're not going to see half a barrel of something, you know, that's wrong. But I took my last set of wire I took to the place close to me that wants you to cut all the ends off of it, and I got ripped off. Everywhere else close was paying double, but they were being nice to me and giving me, you know, aluminum breakage for power supplies. So I went ahead and dropped the wire for the power supplies there, instead of going across town and dropping the wire over there. It'll be alright. Low quality. Drop these in the regular. Now, I don't know, I'm having some thoughts about possibly buying a shredder. I don't think it would take it that long to pay for itself. You can get one for like $3,000. The biggest thing I'm looking at shredding though is like these, all these little ends. Instead of throwing them in the low quality, you know, shred, I can get the metal out of them, and you'll find brass and all kinds of stuff in them. I'm also still fighting the battle trying to figure out what I'm going to do with all my plastic. Now these are gold, but I normally keep these because they're easy to open and get those little pins out of. So I'll set those aside, pull that stuff out of it myself. I'll pull that gold, I'll extract the gold off of it and whatnot. And this one goes to board sort. These are not magnetic, but they're not a magnet. Can't even recall what the name of it is. I'm sure I've told it in other videos. I toss them in shred. But what I was saying, your power wires, you can, some places may let you strip the outside and put it in with everything else if you strip that outside coating off of it. And some of them will not let you do that. So again, check with your yard, see what they suggest, what they like, what they don't like. And this isn't hard work. It's a little bit tedious, but it's not bad. Again, I just toss the speakers over in the shred. So if you're doing this, carrying on a conversation with somebody, or listening to music or something like that, next thing you know, you'll be done in no time. But if you're sitting there,
rock bottle on the track, boy.
myself doing it, well, it's not gold. And that's not gold. You know, you can get a little bored. But sometimes you just want a little quiet time, you know? But all these wires come out the inside of those TVs. A lot of people don't even mess with them. It takes up so much time. But I mean, I don't see them as being that bad. You get a decent amount of wire. You get a little bit of gold. Weight on wire adds up pretty fast. Get a little bit of shred. Now, I don't know if y'all know what those are for. I might ought to pull that back out real quick. So, all of these things right here, different versions of the same thing, different sizes. So, when your wire passes through here, from it being around all the other electronics and everything, it tends to distort the flow, is the easiest way to say it, not getting technical. These help clean that sound or picture back up as it passes through it. A lot of times they wrap it one time, and this helps clean that up. If it's sine waves, which would be AC current, which stands for alternating, it cleans up the noise on them. If it's DC, which is direct current, it helps clean that up as well. So I'm going to finish cutting these up and bring y'all back to show y'all the circuit boards and that kind of thing that I got off of them, because I'm sure y'all would like to see that before my camera dies. So y'all stay tuned and we'll be back. Alright, here's a little montage of what come out of the TVs. So we'll start one side and work to the other. So these have buttons on them. So there's going to be those little pieces of silver in those. Once you take that off, there's really no value left on them. They're going to be low grade, or some people call them shred. Now, if I'm not mistaken, these are peripheral boards. This is the part where you can see where it was connected on each one of them. Some of the gold's missing. That's also these things right here that I cut. That's where they're connected. Trying to get the gold from it. These I've been keeping because I was going to strip and try to get the gold off of, because they're all double-sided, coated in gold normally, thin coat. So there's those, and they don't, I mean, they don't weigh anything. It's nothing to them. So it seems to me like it would take a whole lot of them to actually make any type of money. So this right here, I figure it's going to be low grade and shred. Probably the same with that. Once I pull that IC chip off of there, there's not going to be any value left. This is going to be the same other than that one IC chip. This has got one IC chip and the thing of copper. and then it's going to be low grade, probably low grade in the first place. This is populated pretty good. I'm not exactly sure what it would be. This one, halfway decent. The board itself is a lot thicker, better board. You've got, you know, flat packs, IC chips, crystal oscillator, probably gold in the connections. So pretty decent board. Should be the same with this. It's loaded with teeny weeny little things all over it, but it is loaded pretty good. And this is part of what I still have to learn. So this is aluminum. I can take this piece off. There's a chip underneath it. I could strip these off of it because there's really nothing to those, and they're just capacitors, and it would upgrade the board. Don't know for sure. I don't have the experience E-Waste Mike has. Again, this has got one huge one and then some ICs going around there. This board, I believe that's going to be MLCC's. Huge flat pack, huge IC, small IC, and that's basically it. I think all of these are ICs too. Looks like there's enough legs on them. This board's super heavy. As you can see, we've got some copper on there. This is going to be a copper transformer of some type. That's a transformer. This right here, I do believe comes off of there actually. Hey, there we go. Gold pins in that. So you've got gold, you know, on the outside. You've got some stuff. I'm not sure what it would be classified as, but it did come off of, you know, that one of the flat screen TVs. So some of those TVs have a bunch of boards in them. It just depends. This is populated pretty well. It's got one little thing of copper right there, which is going to be kind of difficult to get out without breaking something else, so I'll probably just leave it. This right here is going to be, should be number 2 copper, sitting on top of, let's see if we can get it off of there, some type of, come on, there we go, gold corner BGA, I believe. So this should have pretty good value. It's double-sided. It's got some stuff on the back side too. So again, more learning I need to do. Now these are not power boards. Quite a few chips on here, to be honest with you. Probably be best to cut that one off right there. And yeah, you can cut the boards and it upgrades them. And then this would be a peripheral. Or something like that. This one I'd probably have to cut here and here, and that's not much on there. But this one I'd also cut it here. It's pretty good stuff on there. I don't believe there's anything on the backs of these. No. But there is good copper, as you can see, on these, and quite a bit of weight that way. So there's those. Like I said, all of this came out of these flat screens that nobody wants to take apart, and I know it takes a little time, but so here's one power board. You've got aluminum heat sinks, you've got copper that you can take off, more copper, you've got some ICs. It's a low grade board. You know, some people can leave it on and send it as it is because they don't want this stuff. I take these off because I melt these into bricks. And I do the same with copper too sometimes. So there's there's 2 chips on the back. So I don't mind taking the time to strip some of that stuff off. Now you look at this one. This has got some massive aluminum on it for heat sinks and stuff. This is a transformer. You've got a few rolls of copper underneath that I can see here and here. You've got those little things that are bolted to these for the heat sinks. There's our number 2 copper. If you knock the plastic off, they look just like this one, if you can see that good. whole lot of weight on this board, so quite a bit of goodies on there. A couple ICs on the back. There's probably a couple hiding on the front too. So here's a small one, copper. I think that's stainless, but either way you can still pull it off of there. And that looks like that's basically it on that. You've got this board, aluminum heatsink. That might be aluminum or stainless. Some copper underneath this, copper here, copper here, copper here. This right here is aluminum heatsink too. Some more copper right there. A couple little IC chips on the back, and another heatsink here. Decent amount of weight to it. And then the last one, you got copper, a couple little ICs, and that looks like that's probably about it. And a lot of times my power boards, I strip them down, take my copper off, take my aluminum off, take my ICs and flat packs if there's any of those or whatever, maybe a crystal oscillator occasionally, and that's about it. The rest of it goes into low grade. This is brass, these prongs in here, so you can always grab those and twist those out of there. Just all depends on what you like to do. So this is awful light. I think that's aluminum. But yeah, so there's a nice piece of aluminum. But basically that's it. That's what I got out of those TVs. And as I said, it was 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got to be 1, 2, so 5. I think it was 5 power boards. Definitely 1, 2, 3, 4. All those have the plug on it. This one doesn't have the external plug, but it could have been fed in a different way. But anyway, power boards do tend to have a whole lot of weight to them because of all the copper and aluminum and that kind of thing. But hope y'all enjoyed. That's what comes out of your flat screens. That's the classification of the two things that I definitely know for sure, which is your low grade power boards and peripheral boards, which really don't weigh anything. And that's it. So if y'all have any questions, shoot them to me, drop them in the comments. I will definitely try my best to answer it. If I can't, I'll get a hold of somebody who can. Y'all have a good one.